Becky, every person, regardless of age, race, level of intelligence, or disability, has rights.
Constitutional rights, like life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Right, Greg?
Right. The same rights that all people should have the opportunity to enjoy. But developmentally disabled people have been denied this opportunity.
Because of false beliefs.
Right. So we're the ones who make sure these rights are available to the clients.
Do I just use my judgment?
Well, there are 9 rights that you can use to guide you. The right to grow and develop, the right to succeed as well as fail, the right to participate in decisions, the right to struggle and persevere for a quality life, the right to privacy, the right to develop confidential relationships, the right to be treated in good faith, the right to be in harmony with your culture, and the right to be yourself. These rights apply to every person. Let's take them one at a time. The right to grow and develop yourself into a better person is the most basic human right. All people are valuable, not just people who look and act a certain way, not just people with high IQs or young people or pretty people.
Are you saying I can grow and learn all through life?
Sure. Development begins at conception, but a healthy person continues to grow and develop until death. The client's right to grow and develop begins with an adequate program of treatment.
That's the individual program plan.
Right. And in that plan, we make sure there aren't any restrictive situations that prevent the client from developing.
Like what?
Like drugs to calm a person down, or restraints to keep a person in control. Our job is to give the individual as many chances as it takes to develop the skills to cope on their own with the demands of life.
That's preparing the client for success.
Right. Second, we have the right to succeed as well as fail. Becky, success takes planning and preparation, but I'm realistic. Growing and learning means taking chances, and taking chances means making some mistakes along the way.
Are you saying it's okay to fail?
Yes, I am. Growth involves taking risks, and if you're taking risks, you won't always succeed. But when you do make mistakes, learn from them and go on.
Same thing with clients?
Same thing. Planning for success means taking reasonable risks. If the client fails or makes a mistake, be there to help the client learn from the mistake. Don't try to prevent it.
What do you consider a reasonable risk?
Depends on the individual. For one person, it could mean access to an electrical outlet, and for another person, it could mean living in an apartment.
So you're really saying that if we don't let a person take chances, we're preventing the person from growing.
Exactly. Third, we have the right to participate in decisions that affect our lives. Here, you're a participating member of the team. You have input into decisions that affect your life and the lives of many other people.
If I don't participate, I feel left out, and that upsets me.
That's just how the client feels when left out of decisions that affect him or her. Clients have a right to input into decisions that affect their lives through direct participation.
Now, do clients always represent themselves?
Some clients do. Others have guardians to represent them. Minors are represented by their parents or a guardian.
Then clients and guardians attend team meetings.
Yeah. Participation also includes being a part of decisions about day-to-day living, like helping to plan menus, planning activities, and household chores.
What about treatment?
We have a procedure called informed consent. It means that client and guardian are informed about any kind of treatment, medical or developmental, and possible outcome of treatment, and they're free to accept or reject it.
You mean that a client can refuse a treatment?
Oh, sure. The client and guardian are in the best position to know things like whether a medication is causing a headache or drowsiness. We review their concerns and try to provide treatment alternatives.
I see.
The fourth right is the right to struggle and persevere for a quality life. Struggle and perseverance are part of learning, and success is the reward that makes the struggle and perseverance worthwhile. But I know that sometimes, when we get in a hurry, we want to do things for another person because we can do it faster and easier.
Watching some people dress, I want to do it for them. But if I do, I'd be taking away the person's struggle and their opportunity for success, for achievement.
Sure. Another example is the area of managing personal finances. Even though it's easier to do it for the clients, each person has the right to learn to manage their own financial affairs as much as possible.
But financial mistakes can be expensive.
That's part of the risk we talked about earlier. We start with frequent opportunities to make small purchases. If the client makes a mistake then, it's a learning opportunity. Gradually, the client learns to handle larger sums of money.
Why is managing finances so important?
Because if you never learn to handle your own money, you'll be dependent all your life. Next is the right to privacy. We all need some private time. Time to be alone, to separate out thoughts and feelings. Well, a client has a right to privacy too, and to learn private area behavior. We also ensure privacy by teaching clients to carry out their own personal care, and by making sure we use privacy curtains and doors.
What about privacy for married couples?
Well, there are private visits between husband and wife. We provide for those. We also provide for the private sexual expression of individuals.
What about people who aren't private about their sexuality?
Well, they receive teaching in the area of sexuality. And privacy and appropriate sexual expression is an ongoing part of that teaching. There's another aspect of privacy that has to do with privacy of information. We're privileged to know intimate details about each client, and we've got to respect the privacy of that information. Discussing a client with an unauthorized person can lead to losing your job and conviction of a felony.
That's pretty serious. Who's an authorized person and who's not?
An authorized person works here and is a member of the client's treatment team. To release information to people who work at other agencies or who aren't members of the team, we need permission from the client or guardian first.
So I don't discuss a client with someone unless they're a member of the client's treatment team or we have permission to share the information.
Right. So that means you don't discuss a client in front of other people, including other clients.
So no talking out in the supermarket or telling friends what so-and-so did at work today.
You've got it. The next right is the right to develop confidential relationships. I'm sure the relationships you have are really an important part of your life.
Oh yeah, I depend on my friends and family every day.
Close, confidential relationships also help you know more about yourself.
Don't clients form friendships with one another?
Well, sure, but it's also nice to have variety. That's why we provide opportunities for clients to have friendships with others from the community.
What sort of opportunities?
Well, we encourage visits by family and friends at any reasonable hour without prior notice.
With no restrictions?
The client has the same right as you and me to communicate and meet privately with individuals of their own choice.
Couldn't that lead to trouble?
That's democracy. Clients have the right to assemble and speak regardless of whether it's critical of the program or staff. We also encourage frequent vacations from the facility for visits and trips with family and friends. We want the client to have a full range of experiences, like going to camp, to Disney World, to visit the mountains.
There's more to this than I thought.
Sure, and you do more than visit friends, don't you?
Well, I call them on the phone, write to them.
Well, we encourage clients to send and receive mail.
What if the person doesn't read or write?
Then we provide assistance. We encourage clients to use the telephone privately for long distance and local phone calls. Next is the right to be treated in good faith. Becky, when you start a new job, what do you expect?
Well, I expect to be trained, to be paid, to advance in my work.
What else?
Well, I expect to be trusted, not overworked, not lied to. I expect promises to be kept, and I expect to be treated fairly.
The same applies to clients. Clients are entitled to respectful care and to a humane living and work environment. Clients aren't slaves, so when they do work for the facility, they're paid a fair wage. The client also has the right to complain and the right to due process, to be treated fairly.
What does that involve?
That involves notice of changes in placement or treatment and the opportunity to protest.
That's great, and it's normal.
Normalization leads to the next right, the right to be in harmony with your culture.
Culture?
Culture can be as broad as your race or nationality.
Like African or Italian, Irish.
We help the client to dress and groom according to race and to celebrate ethnic holidays. Culture can be your religion.
Like going to church on Sunday or temple on Saturday.
We encourage freedom of religious expression. Culture can be your sex.
Like putting on makeup if you're a woman.
It can be as narrow as your community, family, and friends. We provide opportunities for clients to participate in social and community group activities that are appropriate to age, sex, and religious convictions. It also means that clients have the right to retain and use their personal possessions.
That could be a lot of stuff.
It's not stuff to the client. We treat all individual possessions with respect, regardless of what you and I might think, because of what those possessions are and because what they represent to the individual.
So what you're saying is that we teach the clients to become competent in all aspects of their own culture.
Right. And to do that, we have to learn about cultures that are different from our own. The final right is the right to be yourself.
What do you mean?
Well, you may feel that if you show off your real self, you might not have any friends. They put you away. As a result, you don't say how you really feel. You disguise your emotions, put on a happy face and become someone else. You have the right to be you, even in public.
You mean I don't need to pretend?
And neither do the clients. They're not poor, sick people, but people who can lead full lives. They don't need to act like non-disabled people to hide their differences. They have a right to be themselves. So there you have it, Becky. We have the right to grow and develop. We have the right to succeed as well as fail. We have the right to participate in decisions. We have the right to struggle and persevere for a quality life. The right to privacy. The right to develop confidential relationships. We have the right to be in harmony with our culture. We have the right to be treated in good faith, and we have the right to be ourselves. Without rights, clients are just prisoners. With rights, clients have the greatest opportunity to be fully participating members of society. See you next time.